Alrighty, so today we are on Gon's account. So we have 17 million box CC, and we're going to be looking at the LR Margaret because I won't get her for another 2 weeks. So it is what it is. But we're going to look at her in gameplay. We're going to see if her, along with the new ELAT, will make a big difference. I don't know for sure. But if you don't know what changes they made, they slightly increased the values on level 2 and 3 of the Breath of Bless card. It's the exact same as it was on level 1, so no changes there. The charge card now actually lowers crit resistance of the enemy by 20% at level 1, 30%, and then 50% respectively. And then the level 3 one actually goes for 2 turns, which is kind of cool. If I go up against other angels, obviously they can't be stat lowered, so that might be a little bit of a concern, but I haven't seen anybody using angels yet, but also the update just came out, so to be determined. The ultimate, on the other hand, I can't remember exactly. It just blocks enemy skills was already part of it, and then the sever was already part of it. I think it's just this part right here, increases all enemies' damage taken by 50% for 2 turns. So even though this is a single target ultimate, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to one-shot with her attack, or with her ultimate on the enemy, and then you can follow up with your allies, and they should be able to do a pretty good amount of damage because of that. They did not change the Grace, they did not change the Holy Relic, of course. So yeah, the passive, on the other hand, does have a little bit more added to it, where increases Goddess allies' crit chance and crit damage by 4% for each debuff removed from the hero's skill uses. So it's a little situational. We're going to have to see how it goes. I actually do think I like the outfit quite a bit. It's pretty cool looking. It's a really nice throwback to the original Ludociel. So you have the really cool sort of like green gold color scheme and everything. I think it's cool. She actually has a lot of really nice costumes already anyway, so you know, maybe you won't end up using it, but we're going to go with the same exact team that we had in my video that we put out yesterday, except for the fact that, you know, Margaret is LR'd now. So Gon has an absurd amount of CC, and obviously because Margaret is LR, she gains a huge stat boost. So yeah, I don't think we're going to have any issues out CCing or anything, but let's see if her being LR actually makes the difference. Sorry for the long intro or anything, but yeah, if you're new to the channel or anything, feel free to subscribe. We're going to hop in. I think after this, we'll maybe try a geared PvP match. I want to try to put her with like attack crit or something like that to see if we can do any sort of like really big damage with her. I want to see if we can make her a damage dealer. So let's just do something like this and then cleanse off the hell debuffs here. So we're going to lower their crit resistance by 20%. So this should hopefully do more. Because that has spike on it, it does a little bit of extra damage whenever you crit. Wasn't super impressive, but now that we've cleansed off those hell debuffs, I think we've actually maxed out the crit chance, crit damage part of her passive with that, because we did 2 AoEs, so that was 3 stacks per character, and I think you only need to cleanse 5 debuffs off, I think. I might have looked at that wrong, but either way. At this point, I'm not super sure what my best option is, because that's only a 1-turn reduction. I'm not super happy with that. Let's maybe push for... Well, we can't actually push for the ultimate. Let's do something like this, even though we're going to get drained from Nanashi. I'm going to do this anyway, because I need to get some damage off on Albedo, or else we're going to increase our damage taken. So we're just going to cleanse the debuffs off and everything. Now we have extra defense-related stats. We have the Sun Cutter ready. No extra Mael cards is kind of bad, but then again, I kind of want to see the performance on the Margaret. He has full ultimate move gauge. If that is a taunt, we're in a really bad situation. It is an attack card, so that is good for me. I can at least hopefully kill hell off here. Okay, goes for the Liz, tanking like a champion. We have damage reduction and defense-related stats on at the moment, so that is going to be kind of hard to beat through. Luckily, we are in Champ 2, so hopefully we're getting real players during this this setup. But let's go for the lower into the Sun Cutter. I would hope that that's enough to kill. I know that he has Nanashi buffs on, but we can actually just go for an additional attack, because if we end up killing off the Margaret like we should, hopefully, we won't actually have the hell debuffs on us. So Okay, that's a little embarrassing, I think. That does kill, which is really good. That's going to heal us a little bit. And we don't have the health debuffs on. Okay, so that's actually pretty nice. We now have the Elizabeth Ultimate, which is going to increase our attack-related stats. So Mael could actually do some really big damage here. Not super sure on that. He's ulting the Liz. Does he kill with death? I assume he does. Okay, that is a lot of damage, so yes, he does kill. Okay, he uses a cleave card on Mael. That's a lot of damage. Holy. Alright, we still have our defense-related stats debuff on, so that's at least kind of nice. He has the Nanashi debuffs, which is unfortunate. I think let's go for... there's nothing really that I can do to get my ultimate, so that's really unfortunate. Let's just move it, use it, and then let's throw on... I forgot we killed Hell already. I should have used that buff card beforehand. Ooh, okay, that's really bad. Okay, maybe I just need to try rushing for ultimate with Margaret, because it'll disable them for 2 turns, will increase damage dealt. It might work out. He's probably going to kill Mael here. I wonder if we'll be able to come back with Margaret. I kind of doubt it, because he's more than likely going to get his ultimate with Albedo as well. Luckily... Elat has a damage or an ult gauge removal card, so that's kind of nice. Okay, he's just using whatever he can here. Okay, this is an attack. It does kill Mael, but that might not be the end of the world. We'll see. We can just merge into the ultimate removal, and then I'll have ultimate in hand. I don't know for sure if we're going to be able to survive. He might even have a delete card with Nanashi, which would be really, really bad. Okay, I mean, we get some decent cards. This will be a 2-turn crit resist lower. 50% crit resistance is actually pretty insane, but we'll see. Okay, it doesn't look like he has a Nanashi delete. This cleave card might hit really hard. Okay, not too bad. I think we survived this. Okay. I'm a little underwhelmed at, you know, like her supporting ability. Like, she didn't really make, you know, Mael do anything like super crazy. I felt like it was pretty typical damage so far. So, boom. That still didn't kill. Okay, that's really bad. The increased damage dealt's kind of nice, but now we disable our Margaret. And, I mean, they're disabled as well. We can actually cleanse that off and go for another level 3, which is kind of nice. It'll heal us as well. I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed that that didn't kill. Even at 6/6, like a single target ultimate, like, I don't know. I know it's more of like a supporty kind of ultimate, but I don't know, man. So this is only going to hit 1 time because he's disabled. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. It does. Okay, well, that is what it is. We will nod out. Good game to him. I'm not impressed so far. We'll see if the next game holds any better results. Alrighty, we have another Hell team, which is pretty typical. We get an extra Mael card out of the gate. We might even be able to go for... maybe I don't go for the level 2 here. I think we go for the same turn 1 setup that we went for in the first game. So that way, this is evaded, unfortunately. So we're not actually going to put the Hell debuffs on ourselves here, but at least we'll cleanse off some of the Hell debuffs. Okay. I feel like this is pretty typical, though. Like, running up against Evasion Food with the Unknown team, I think, is pretty standard stuff. So it's nothing out of the ordinary, I think. I have been facing more people using CC Food with it lately, which is kind of crazy. Like, I don't really... I mean, I don't know. I guess if I was going to use the team, I'd probably want to use CC Food to try to go first, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It is what it is. It is cool that you can go second and still, like, get some decent use out of it. So, this shouldn't deal too much. Yeah, I love the fact that Tyr is pretty much... just not necessarily shut down, but definitely does a lot less because of the whatchamacallit, the no stat reduction. So nice. I guess let's go for this, and then I'm actually going to cleanse with Liz here, even though I should probably go for the cleanse with Margaret for her actual passive and everything. But if I go for the Liz cleanse, I'll actually get defense-related stats, and hopefully we'll be able to tank pretty well. Okay, we're literally full health, so that's nice. I guess at this point, I just need to push an ultimate. Doesn't really matter whose it is. I could go for Mael's, and I can actually go for Margaret's too. I'll have to attack with her, and she'll probably take a counter, depending on if he has one or not. He does. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. She's going to take some hell stacks, though, which is not really what I'm looking for. Well, actually, I can't even get her ultimate like that because of the fact that I would have to merge these. I'll have to sacrifice not getting Mael's ultimate, which is fine. We'll do this anyway because I kind of want to see Margaret anyway. So we counter there. Hopefully we get a little bit of lifesteal back. Okay, it looked like a pretty good amount. Ooh, God, we're full again. Crazy. I think it's also part of Liz's passive going there with the recovery rate and stuff. So now we have ultimate in hand. He doesn't have a way to take the ultimate off, which is good. We have another cleanse if we need it. We're going to disable, hopefully one-shot. The fact that we didn't one-shot the Albedo in that last game was really underwhelming. So we'll see how it goes. Lowers damage dealt. I guess that might have been a big factor in it. I wasn't paying the most attention to the debuffs that we had on ourselves in that last one, so maybe that was a big reason why we didn't do super crazy damage. Ah, okay. Well, I kind of wanted to see the damage on that, so I mean, I guess, you know, that's a win. We'll move on. Alrighty, we have a Sins team. I did fight a couple of Sins teams this morning on my own account, using this team without LR Margaret, of course. And it surprisingly went pretty decent. I do like the fact that... Actually, I'm pretty sure this is a bot with the low CC. I'm just going to go all in. We're going to lower crit resistance. We are going to, you know, level him up, or level his cards up and everything, but it's fine. We're going to kill him off anyway. So, nice. Looking pretty good there. We did some pretty good damage to these two. Unfortunately, the crit resistance lower is only one turn, so it's not going to matter too much. We get no Mael cards, which is pretty bad, but let's push for Margaret's ultimate, I guess, and then we can... I think I have to use both cards with one ultimate move gauge, so I might not be able to do any other attacks or anything. I was kind of wanting to try to use the Flood card with Elizabeth here. Her Flood card surprisingly does a really nice amount of damage. So let's just cleanse those off. We're going to put this on because this will increase our damage dealt. I'm not expecting the craziest damage from this, but I guess the defining factor is he going to be able to... Ooh, okay, decent damage. I can't really complain. That was pretty good. I can't complain too much. We also cleansed off a lot of the bond debuffs there, so we got some more of our passive proc and everything, which was nice. His bond is disabled here, so it's not going to matter too much. Deanne really focusing on the Liz there, I guess. When I was playing this morning, everybody, for some reason, was just targeting Margaret. I'm not really sure if that's, like, the play to go for all the time, but either way, I think we are in a pretty decent position here. Let's just go ahead and do this, because we're going to lower damage dealt, or, like, increase damage dealt to them. So, this kills... Boom. Only 400k is just so much less than I'm expecting, I guess. The Tarmiel Link is going to proc here, so I don't think Liz is going to be able to kill from that full. Okay, she she does. All right. I think when it comes down to it, it's just like it's a really slow start. You have to build up their passives and stuff, and then just push an ultimate, and then you go for like a big kill. And it just, I don't know, it's just not what I was hoping for, maybe. But anyway, let's hop back in. All right, we have another Hell tier team. Pretty typical stuff. I'm assuming this is going to be, whatchamacallit, words. I'm assuming this is going to be evasion food. So we're gonna... Okay, wasn't evasion food. I guess that's fine, because we still use 2 AoEs, so that means we have a lot of debuffs on to cleanse with Margaret, so we max out her passive. So that's nice. I kind of like using the, like, without LR Margaret on the field, and I'm, like, worrying about having to proc her passive and everything like that. When we were playing on my account without LR Margaret, using the Liz heal, or not heal, but Liz cleanse, and getting those defense-related stats was really nice turn 1 because the tier was doing even less damage because our crit resistance and stuff was higher. So I did like that maybe. The fact that I don't necessarily feel forced, but it's just a much better idea for me, I guess, to go for the Margaret cleanse, right? So let's kill off the hell so I don't have to worry about the large amount of debuffs, if we can even kill here. So, okay, we do kill pretty easily, actually. It wasn't nearly as close. Sometimes the Mael single target, I'm like really hoping it's going to do a lot of damage and then like guarantee me a kill, and then sometimes it just kind of falls flat, which is not great. I don't know if they're planning on maybe trying to give him like a holy relic or sometime in the near future to like add on top of this sort of goddess support that they've come out with, but so far I feel like this isn't enough to make the team like super meta. I don't think, you know, because LRs are already really hard to get, I just don't think that people are going to be that interested in, you know, like going out of their way to make this character and then, oh, I needed to attack. Okay, that might end up killing me here because now I'm going to get the damage dealt increase and he's got his ultimate. That was probably a misplay on my part. I was hoping to just buff up and then take less damage, but we'll see if that's going to make the difference. I don't know, actually. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of like goddess support, but it's not... I don't think it's enough to make them meta. So, I don't know. Elat's already gotten a holy relic, so it's not like they could increase any more stats with her. Mael's really the only goddess that doesn't have one. I think there might be one other goddess. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the roster. But, I don't know. I'm not sure who else they could boost to make the difference here. I really wish that they would have just LR'd a damage dealer like Sariel. I know everybody's kind of like, there's already, like, Nagato for one is very adamant about Sariel, you know, should have got it. I think it's true. I think you really should have, but I don't know. Okay, so maybe they just don't want the team to be what it was, in the sense of Mael's AoE does a lot of damage. The teams right now have a lot of boosts, so it feels like they're trying to make him not do like insane crazy damage turn 1 like you're kind of used to him doing whenever he very first came out, but maybe they're just trying to make the supports good enough to where after you've built up a little bit and given the enemy a chance to fight you, you do a lot of damage and then you win. I'm not 100% sure if that's their like thought process behind this, but that would make some sense to me. Let's try to get rid of the Roxy here, maybe. He's definitely got CC food on, though. So let's go ahead and do this. Because if we put any debuffs on, he's probably just going to Cruel Sun them off. Okay, not as good as I was maybe hoping for. Hopefully this still kills the Roxy. Oh boy, okay. So that was with the crit resistance lower. So I'm not terribly impressed by that. Escanor does a lot of damage. Like, a lot of damage. So, my issue... Okay, we didn't take that much damage there. She's going to crit pretty much guaranteed because of her passive giving her so much crit chance and everything. I think let's cleanse. We're going to move. We're going to try to kill Roxy. Because this is gonna give me some extra crit damage, crit chance. We kill the Roxy, so now when he crits me, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. I should have lifestealed a good amount of HP back. I've got my ult in hand. Escanor bonks hit hard. I was thinking about trying to go for the defense-related stats, but without Roxy, it's not going to matter if he crits me or not, because he can't pop, or he can't do the pop damage. So I think we're good here, because he didn't put the... I mean, even if he Mark of Concentrations me, it's not going to lower my crit chance. It will guarantee him crits, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. So I have to say, the fact that I was able to tank that so well is good. So I'm not gonna I'm not just gonna write it off. Like, I'm not trying to look at this like in a negative light or anything. I want Margaret to be good, but there's some pros and cons to the whole situation. Ooh, okay, really high CC on this guy. The hail is gonna be a bit of an issue, I think. Let's go ahead and try to start working on the Margaret passive here. Luckily, I have good cleanses, so the Eins shouldn't be a huge issue, I don't think. Albedo taking really low damage there. I think my issue is the crit resistance lower doesn't feel significant. It doesn't actually seem like it's doing much of anything, which is not good. Like, you really want it to do more. I don't know. In the next video that we do, I kind of want to try to, I'm going to make her the damage dealer. We're going to go into geared PvP. I kind of want to try, the old school, method of using her as the main damage dealer, and then ranking her up with Gother, and then, using another stance or something like that on the team, or, another buff card to, max out her passive faster or something. That could be kind of cool. I don't know. We'll try it out. So here's ultimate in hand. I don't imagine he's gonna... Well, I mean, maybe. I kind of doubt he's gonna be able to kill me here. Albedo doesn't do a whole lot of damage on her own. She can, but she's not built up enough at the moment. Yeah, not enough stacks for Hell to do anything really crazy here. And then even with the Death Brand on me, yeah, I don't think that was gonna be enough damage, so... works for me, really. So I guess we can, out of curiosity, we can cleanse off those debuffs and then just go for a big kill. So we're gonna cleanse. We get rid of the death sentence, which is a huge cuck to the Eins there, and then 6/6 Mael ultimate is really hard to live. So 2.3 mil. That's game. Okay. I don't know. Maybe this put a little bit more perspective on. Dang, he got the drip. He got the watch on. He got the Rolex. That's crazy. I never noticed that. Yeah, maybe it's just they don't want Mael to go insane turn. I hate that you can't really rely on his cards. The Sun Cutter does good damage and everything like that, but I feel like you're not going to win unless you get someone's ultimate, which is that I don't like ultimates personally. Just personal opinion, ultimates are just really boring because they just do so much damage. More than likely they're going to end up killing or whatever. I like relying on the actual cards of the unit, and the way that they're sort of building this team at the moment, it just doesn't really feel like that's what they want it to do. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a new damage dealer for the Goddess team in the near-ish future. I doubt it, since they just gave us two Goddess supports, but or just gave us two new improvements for the Goddess team, I guess. I don't know. But, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow.